Welcome back to Two Doctors Homestead. My name's Daniel, and we're talking about 2025. What you need to expect, what you need to prepare for. I got out the crystal ball, looked into the future, talked to some time travelers, and just got a sense what's coming out, right? Just looked at all the events, everything we might need to look at, everything people are talking about, what's coming up in 2025, right? We got pandemics, we got World War III, cartel wars, trade wars, terminators. There's a lot to unpack, a lot to get through. And I want to kind of talk through each item, right? And what I think is the real risk, the real danger in America, the real danger in society right now, which is terminal apathy. But we'll get to that, right? Let's talk pandemics, bird flu. You keep hearing about it more and more every day. HPAI, highly pathogenic avian influenza. It's in cats. Cats are getting it from cat food, last I heard. Does not make a lot of sense, but if it was raw cat food or something like that, I don't know. A virus shouldn't survive the canning process. Either way, cats are getting it from cat food. You're hearing more and more about it every day. Now, HPAI, we've talked about it before, is highly lethal in animals. It's highly lethal in mammals. If, and we'll get into the ifs, if it ever gets to the point where it transmits human to human, if it ever gets to the point that it's as lethal in humans as animals, as humans as mammals, it would be devastating, right? You're talking about society collapsing pandemic. Let's talk about those ifs, though. There's a lot of ifs. These same ifs we've had since 1878 when bird flu was first discovered, right? This has been around a long time. Has not jumped, has not transmitted, has not proven the level of lethality amongst humans. If you go back to the plague of Justinian in 541 AD, if you look at every major pandemic since then, the shortest gap between pandemics is 8 years. The average gap is 15 years. But in 1889, 1918, there were two pandemics within 8 years of each other. Average is 15. We're not due. We're not due for a pandemic. That doesn't mean it won't happen. That doesn't mean it can't happen. That doesn't mean you shouldn't maybe be thinking about respirators or what you would do. There's gain of function, right? There's AI. There's a lot of things out there that could be speeding up the development, the release, the natural occurrence of pandemics, but we're not due. This has been around a long time. If it does happen, it's going to be devastating, right? A lot of people talking about HPAI. How about domestic? What do we have looking forward to next year? As has been promised, mass deportations, right? You're hearing about that already. They're talking about that. They're lining up for that, whether that's millions of people, tens of millions of people. I don't know. I can't imagine they'll pull that off without mass disruptions, chaos, supply chain, food production shortages. Will there be violence in the streets? Are they going door to door, kicking down doors? Can't imagine that happening without disruption, right? So if nothing else, supply chain disruption, keep your food 2 weeks, a month worth of food. Don't ever count on FEMA again. It's my opinion. Cartel War, sort of already talking about that. Send the special forces down to Mexico, clear out the cartels. Once again, violence. Violence begets violence. Violence in Mexico, violence against the cartels. How would it not spill out onto the streets of the United States? And if there's violence there, it creates dangerous situations for bystanders, for people you don't know what to expect. Be prepared to defend yourself, situational awareness, know what's going on around you, right? Especially something like that, especially something as dramatic as that, whether it's mass deportation, cartel wars. What about trade wars? We're talking about tariffs for everyone, potential supply chain issues, shortages, price hikes. Don't know what to expect there. But I think it's something to be aware of. Once again, it goes back to, do you have food stored away? Do you have your basic necessities covered? Are you pushing towards self-sufficiency, which is something we're always pushing towards here? Be able to survive, break away a little bit from the supply chain, from the normal course of things if you have to, whether it's quarantine or something like that. Situational awareness, self-sufficiency, right? Technology, this bugs me all the time. Vast advancements in robotics and AI. How far are we really from the Terminator movie? You see the robots coming in. You see AI coming in. You look at all the drones, the alien invasion, the drone invasion. You see all the drones, how much of that is AI, how much of that is robotics, how much of it's man. We don't know what's going on with the drones, and people have probably already forgotten about them anyway, but the technology is advancing so rapidly, right? The combination of AI, we see the robotics, they're being used in factories in China. US is pushing out robotics. We're gonna see more robotics, right? And in my mind, the more advanced AI becomes, and it's becoming more and more advanced, and they're making more and more substantial investments in AI, combination with robotics. That was the Terminator movie, right? How far are we really? How many years are we away from that? What happens with World War III in 2025? Does it escalate? Does it de-escalate? I think either one is possible. Some people will say it never happened. Some people will say we're already there, right? But World War III, Russia's saying they have unstoppable missiles, right? They actually challenged the U.S. to a duel. It says, put all your anti-missile systems in one spot. We'll send a missile over there. You try to shoot it down. So Russia's claiming to have unstoppable missiles. Now, what does that do for the potential for mutual destruction, right? Mutually assured destruction, MAD, has been our anti-nuclear war doctrine. It's what we stand by. If Russia's now saying, hey, we have missiles that you can't shoot down, where is that mutually assured destruction? How does that impact that? I don't know if we actually know yet. China, 6th gen fighters, just saw them. Don't know what to think on those. Don't know how much of that is true, how much of that is real. They're saying the fighters can operate in outer space. I don't know if they can fly off the planet, how that quite works, how they plan on getting them into outer space, if that's even an issue. But if they have 6th gen fighters and we do not, that is a problem. That is a lack of focus on the United States. And I think that's certainly something we suffer from, lack of focus. So what happens? Escalate, de-escalate? Do we go deeper into World War III? Seemed like there was a power line cut. A lot of stories, conspiracies around that. Things keep moving forward. Does it stop? I don't know. Right? Don't know on that. Russia cured cancer. That's cool, right? Who doesn't want cancer cured? It seems to be a genomic-based personalized treatment. If it is what I think it might be, right? And I don't know for sure what Russia's doing. I believe, my opinion, this technology has been around for a while, not adopted in the United States. I think we like treating more than curing in the United States. I don't think this is necessarily new technology. Obviously, Russia, if they're doing it, they announced it. They're more interested in curing than treating, right? Certainly money's on the treatment side, but it could be a huge investment. In advancement, it could mean a lot for a lot of people if they are doing that genomic based where they basically customize a treatment for each person in mass. Certainly possible. Once again, AI probably is helping out with that a little bit. Massive parallel processing, bringing all the cool computer stuff mixed with the healthcare, CRISPR, all that. Certainly possible, right? And that would be huge, huge, cancerous, horrible. What are we doing now? All right, what are we doing? Back to biggest enemy, apathy, terminal apathy, lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. We're a black pill society, right? And then you add a dose of hysteria. People just react. People don't think, they don't do research, they just react hysterically every time anything happens. And I got 3 examples of apathy, of hysteria. 1, annex Canada. I know they're talking about it. Trump said he was going to annex Canada. Everyone's freaking out. What? How would you possibly? What are you talking about? He's lost his mind. So there was the annexation bill of 1866, was a bill introduced July 2nd, 1866, but never passed in the United States House of Representatives, called for the annexation of British North America under the admission of its provinces as states and territories in the Union. So this is not the first time that there have been discussions of annexing Canada. Nothing new. 1866 was a long time ago. Think about the European Union, the American Union, right? So nothing new. Will it happen? I don't know. But once again, everybody reacts with hysteria. Nobody takes the time to do the research, even though we've got these supercomputers at our fingertips. Buying Greenland, another mass hysteria. Oh my God. What is that? He's lost his mind. He's buying Greenland. So since 1867, the United States has considered and made several attempts to purchase the island of Greenland from Denmark. Nothing new, right? They've got a ton of resources. We actually discovered part of Greenland. We had a claim to Greenland. This goes back into the 1800s. Nothing new there, right? And probably nothing there entirely. Certainly nothing new there. And then finally, if you've seen it, I feel bad for you. I saw it. It was horrible. A woman lit on fire on a train while she was asleep, threw a match at her, as I understand it. She stood there and burnt to death. People walked by. People did nothing. Policemen were walking by. I've seen the videos, horrible videos. Don't watch them if you haven't seen them. It sticks with you. But that's apathy. That's terminal apathy. Nobody cares, right? You're on your own. If you're in fire, in a crowd, people are like, whatever, I'm just walking by. Who cares that somebody's on fire? Maybe they'll film it for the Instagram videos, right? Horrible. I think that's our biggest threat right now going into 2025. It's not crippling debt as a nation. Everything else potentially is pretty bad, but how do you cure? How do you confront just that level of mass apathy? Nobody cares. You are absolutely on your own, right? I mean, we have a group. We have our friends, we have our family, try to surround us with people, meaningful relationships. But when you're out in the world, man, don't expect much. Don't expect anyone to come to your aid. Don't expect anyone to help you out. People throwing matches, right, at each other. It seems like things have gotten pretty bad. I don't know how we come back from that as a country. That has to be a new low. So that's what I've got, guys, for 2025. Hopefully the audio is better. We just did the year in review, and there was a buzz, and we picked up the buzz after we listened to the video. It was a ceiling fan in another room was actually creating a buzz that the mic was picking up. So hopefully we picked up the buzz. Hopefully the audio is good. Hopefully you guys have a great New Year's, right? It's important to have a great New Year's. Don't live in fear, right? But be prepared. Try to understand what's going on. Look at how you can react to prepare for situations. Be proactive about what might be out there. But I think those are some important things to think about for 2025 and beyond. So as always, thank you for watching, and we appreciate you.